The narrative opens with an intense police operation led by Captain Folk Chiho, a highly decorated officer celebrated for his expertise in close-quarters combat and tactical strategy. The mission targets a notorious criminal gang implicated in trafficking activities. However, the operation takes a perilous turn when his female colleague is ambushed by the gang leader, who violently throws her to the ground. In a split-second decision, Chiho leaps to her defense, absorbing a brutal blow intended for her. Although he successfully subdues the assailant, he sustains a severe neck injury in the process. Days later, as the case moves to trial, Chiho, still bandaged from his injuries, attends the courtroom proceedings with the hope that justice will be served. To his shock and disbelief, the gang leader is acquitted due to inadequate evidence and procedural missteps, leaving Chiho to witness the failures of the judicial system firsthand. Disillusioned and burdened by a sense of responsibility, he resigns from the police force and embarks on a new journey by enrolling in law school. After 7 years of rigorous study, Chiho returns to Shanghai equipped with a law degree and secures a position at a prestigious law firm. Under the guidance of seasoned prosecutor Bao Ding, he gains insight into the legal system from a new vantage point. The scene transitions to Chiho's successor in the police force, who encounters a wanted criminal during a routine patrol. As he pursues the suspect, he unexpectedly confronts a group of armed thugs. Just in time, Chiho intervenes. Rallying the police to defeat the gang. Meanwhile, across town, police surveillance intercepts a delivery package destined for a modest home belonging to a struggling young man named Cao Kit. Unbeknownst to him, the package contains high-grade narcotics from Brazil. When authorities swoop in and arrest him upon opening it, Cao Kit pleads his innocence during interrogation, explaining that the address was used by a friend, Kwok Wing, who asked for a favor. However, Kwok Wing denies any involvement, leaving Cao Kit vulnerable to the full weight of the law. In his moment of desperation, two lawyers, Hao Man and Z Man, approach Cao Kit, claiming to represent a charity for the underprivileged and offering legal assistance. Confused and anxious about his future, Cao Kit agrees to plead guilty based on their advice, hoping for leniency. During the initial court session, Chiho and Bao Ding serve as prosecutors. However, the trial falters due to insufficient testimony, leading to Cao Kit's remand. Life in prison quickly becomes a nightmare for Cao Kit as he becomes prey to hardened inmates. During a visit from his grandfather, Lu Kit, the young man breaks down in despair and pleads for help. Enraged by his grandson's plight, Lu Kit confronts Hao Man and Z Man, demanding they fulfill their promise of support. Yet despite their reassurances, nothing changes for Cao Kit. At the second hearing, instead of defending their client as expected, Hao Man and Z Man inexplicably bolster the prosecution's case. Furious at this betrayal, Lu Kit disrupts the courtroom proceedings and is forcibly removed. Sensing something amiss, Chiho begins to scrutinize not only the defense team but also the impartiality of the presiding judge. Tensions escalate as Chiho openly questions courtroom procedures, disrupting the trial's decorum. Despite his efforts, the jury ultimately returns a guilty verdict. Cao Kit is sentenced to 27 years in prison, a devastating outcome for both him and his grandfather. After the trial concludes, Chiho attempts to console Cao Kit. However, overwhelmed by hopelessness, Cao Kit rejects his support. Determined to make a difference, Chiho seeks out Lu Kit at his job in a parking garage, urging him to consider filing an appeal. But Lu Kit, equally shattered by the events that have unfolded, declines to take action. Their conversation is abruptly shattered when a bald, tattooed assassin makes a lethal attempt on Lou Kit's life. Chiho springs into action. But the assailant manages to escape, plummeting from a rooftop yet miraculously surviving the fall, an indication of his lethal professionalism. After this harrowing encounter, Chiho visits Lou Kit's dilapidated home, where the stark reality of their poverty deepens his conviction that Cao Kit is being unjustly scapegoated. Fueled by determination, he partners with King Wei, his successor in the police force, to launch a covert investigation. Their inquiries expose how Man and Z-Man as fraudsters trained abroad, masquerading as public defenders while secretly operating as deep-level triad agents involved in drug smuggling and silencing potential whistleblowers. At the heart of this criminal enterprise lies Rui Shang, a ruthless drug lord. In a chilling moment of brutality, Rui Shang punishes an underling for a narcotics mishap by compelling Hao Man to crush the man's hand with a hammer. Meanwhile, Bao Ding, independently following a lead, tracks down Kwok Wing. He learns that Kwok Wing is the brother of Kwok Li, a known trafficker who had been coerced into complicity. Bao Ding records their intense confrontation but soon finds himself discovered and brutally assaulted by gang members until Chiho intervenes, launching a fierce counterattack. He fights off the attackers amid the chaos of glass bottles and makeshift weapons flying through the narrow corridors of a tenement complex, reigniting hope for justice. Chiho shares this encouraging news with Lou Kit, persuading him to reconsider filing an appeal. Tragically, while Chiho briefly steps away, Lou Kit is fatally stabbed by an unknown assailant. Chiho rushes to his side but arrives too late to save him. With a heavy heart, he must deliver the devastating news to Cao Kit in prison, that his grandfather, his last remaining family member, has been killed. Meanwhile, Rui Shang conducts a business meeting aboard his yacht, reveling in soaring profits but perceiving Chiho's investigation as an intolerable threat. Infuriated with Kwok Li for allowing Bao Ding and Chiho access to crucial information, Rui Shang executes him with a gunshot to the head. With Kwok Li eliminated, only Kwok Wing remains as a potential witness. Chiho manages to locate Kwok Wing in hiding and guides him toward the courthouse for the appeal hearing. Just when safety seems within reach, Rui Shang's henchmen ambush their vehicle with a speeding truck. They survive the crash, and Chiho, refusing to waste any time, leads the group onto a public train to continue their journey to the courthouse. On board, they find themselves cornered by assassins. In the cramped compartments of the train, Chiho unleashes his full arsenal of combat skills against waves of attackers. Ultimately, Chiho faces off against Kim Hong, the same bald, tattooed enforcer from earlier, now armed with a knuckle duster. Overwhelmed by pain, he is ultimately defeated by Chiho. With time running out, Chiho wheels Kwok Wing into the courthouse just in time for him to testify. Kwok Wing provides detailed evidence of the drug trafficking operation and confirms Kao Kit's innocence. The court swiftly overturns the previous verdict, leading to Kao Kit's release. Armed with new testimony and evidence, law enforcement launches a sweeping raid on Rui Shang's compound, resulting in the arrest of Rui Shang, Kim Hong, Hao Man, Z Man, and their entire network. Despite this hard-won victory, Chiho understands that his journey has only just begun. Thanks for watching.